In this video, I'm going to give you 7 strategies to get more bookings in your Airbnb or your short-term rental. Now, maybe your property is in a seasonal location and bookings just drop off a cliff come winter. Or maybe you're just in a super competitive market and it's hard to even stand out. Either way, today we're going to hopefully fix that and get that calendar filled up. My name's Dave and I manage over 75 properties right here in Belfast, welcoming over 18,000 guests a year, generating over £4 million in booking revenue. And I'm here to help you get started or to level up your short-term rental business the right way. Now, before we get into the video, I do have to make it clear, if your property looks like this, then I'm sorry, but you have some serious work to do before I or anyone else can help you. Now, of course I'm joking, but the point I'm trying to make here is, if your property looks like or you have terrible reviews because you're not treating your guests properly, then fixing these things first will have much more of an impact than anything I'm about to tell you. And a quick caveat before we get started. This business is not about bookings, and it's certainly not about occupancy. It's about profit. So we don't want to just take as many bookings as we can at any price. We want profitable bookings, even at the expense of occupancy or nightly rates. And that's all going to become clear through this video.
Trust me.
So first up, we're going to have a little look at the actual Airbnb listing that you're using. And when I say Airbnb, it could be any, it could be Verbo, Booking.com. You get what I'm saying. The listing that people see when they make a booking. Now, the biggest thing here that's going to move the needle in terms of increasing your click-through rate and your bookings is having high quality professional photos of your property. When someone searches for dates in your area, loads of places are going to come up and the guests, they're overwhelmed. They want to decide subconsciously, very quickly, almost instantaneously, which properties they can discount and which couple out of the probably dozens that are available are worth going onto their shortlist. The properties with the crap photos are instantly disregarded.
Disqualified.
You want to have photos so good that it stops the scroll, gets people to click into your listing, and then make the booking. Now, the only time that I allow you, because I'm the king, the only time I allow you to use phone photos on your Airbnb listing is if you're setting it live before it's 100% ready and you haven't had a chance to get the professional photos taken. And to be honest, this is actually probably a smart move because you could still pick up a few bookings in the meantime while you're getting things completely finalized and those professional photos taken. But the difference, the gulf between photos you take on your phone and professional ones are night and day. Look at the difference in these ones. These ones I took on my phone before the property was ready, and then whenever it was finished and I had all my bits and pieces and I got the professional in, this is what they came up with. That is the best investment, apart from the property, that you will ever make in your business. Now, on photos, I've got a special, even better tip about photos that's coming later on in the video, so stay tuned. Next up, away from the photos, we want to delve into all the little pages in the back end of your Airbnb listing. There's so many boxes that you need to write stuff in. There's so many boxes that you need to tick, yes or no, tick it or untick it. These things can be frustrating. You're thinking to yourself,
no, I'm not near a golf course. No, I don't have a swimming pool.
You might just think that it's worth just avoiding them, but Airbnb is a bit OCD and they like every little box to be ticked, and if you don't, you're gonna get penalized in search results.
This is punishment.
But it's not just being penalized for having an incomplete property page. Guests actually do use these things, they're called filters, to filter their search results. So as I say, if someone's searching for dates in your area, 100 properties show up. If a guest knows they need parking, they click the parking tab, loads of places are going to disappear. So if you offer parking, make sure you've got it ticked in that little checkbox. Other big things that guests are going to search for, if a property is business friendly, if you accept pets, you get the idea. If you accept these things or you offer these things, make sure it's ticked because guests do filter properties out to try and make their booking process more simple. And as well as that, I hope it goes without saying, but we're here to learn, so I'm going to say it anyway. Make sure everything that you offer is not only ticked in the back end, but included in the description. Now, I'm not talking, you don't have to write War and Peace here, but just have bullet points showing all the best, in your opinion, the best, most attractive stuff about your listing. Does it have a hot tub? Is it 50 meters from the beach? Do you have an Xbox? Do you have a tree house out the back that kids can play in? All these things, guests might not scroll the whole way down to see all the ticks on everything. If you can put it in the description, once they've clicked through from your amazing photos, they open the description, you just hit them with everything that just makes them think,
we don't need to look anywhere else. We'll just book this property right now.
And you can also utilize some of the most important things in your title, making sure if you have a hot tub, you put it in the description. All these sorts of things can just add that little extra SEO that's going to show up on the search results. The next thing that's going to have a huge impact on the bookings that you receive is your pricing. Now, I hope whenever you were getting started, before you put your listing live, you did a bit of a competitor analysis. You looked in the area, you saw what people in your street or in your town were charging margin and you price yours accordingly. Now, I don't mean the same, I don't mean cheaper, I mean accordingly. Now, I've been trying to think about how I can demonstrate this with an idea or some sort of prop, and I came up with this, the mysterious pricing pyramid. Now, I'm going to copyright this, so please don't steal this before I do, but basically this is the way it works. The people at the top of the pyramid can charge the highest rates. Not only that, there's hardly any of them there. They're living in the promised land. As we go down, more and more people exist. When I say people, these are listings. More and more of them exist and the price goes down until you get right to the bottom where the listings are charging the lowest rates and there's the most of them, the most competition. Now, I'm sure we all want to be at the top. None of us want to be at the bottom. So how do we get there? We can't just choose. We can't just look at the listing at the top and say, oh, they're charging £400 a night, so I'll just charge that and then I'll be at the top. It doesn't work like that. That's why it's mysterious. It's market forces that decide where you go in the pyramid. Now, you have some control over that, whether you have good photos or not, whether your property's in a kick-ass location or not, whether it's big or not, whether it offers parking, a hot tub, Netflix, all that sort of stuff or not. But once you've set that stuff, there's not that much stuff you can change, and it is the market forces of supply and demand that decide where you are on the pyramid. But the key here, I mean, it's not necessarily right or wrong to be anywhere. You'd probably rather be at the top, but the key here is to know where you are, because if you're kicking around near the bottom, but you think you're near the top and you start pricing your property with the top prices, the mysterious pyramid does not like that, and the market, and therefore guests, will just say, no, that property is definitely not worth £400, $400 a night. I'm not going to book it. And that's when we end up with an empty calendar because we have the wrong idea about just how good our property is.
You have to know it.
We need to get realistic. We need to trust in the mysterious pricing pyramid. And I should say that it also works both ways. If you have a killer property, but you're offering prices from lower down in the pricing pyramid, you're going to be fully booked, smashing it in terms of occupancy, but you've left a ton of money on the table. You could be and should be charging much higher nightly rates. So look at your competitive set, look in the market, look and see what everyone else is charging. Be honest. Is your property as good as this one? Is it better than this one? Unless you're going to drastically improve it, the chances of you being able to massively jump up the pyramid is slim. You can do it, but it's not me that's saying this. I'm not saying your property. Airbnb isn't punishing you. It's the mysterious pricing pyramid and the market forces of supply and demand. Guests are real people. They look at your property, they say,
oof, there's quite a lot of supply here and I'm not really in demand for that property. I like that one though, I'm willing to pay it.
That's how it works. Now, next up, we're talking seasonality. Before I get into this, the pricing strategies is a huge concept. It's a video in itself. In fact, this is it right here. But seasonality does play a part. You cannot just set your rates and forget them and think, well, this is my price for Friday or Saturday or Monday. Oof. 365 days a year. Seasonality does play a part. I touched on it at the start. If you're smashing it with bookings in the summer and they drop off a cliff in winter, well then the chances are, while the demand has dropped, the demand is still there a bit, and you just have to, because the supply is huge now in those periods of low demand, you just have to reduce your prices accordingly. So if you're not getting any bookings in the winter, or if you're in the southern hemisphere in the summer, your prices are just too high. They just need adjusted further down, unfortunately. But remember, we're talking about profitability here at the expense of potentially occupancy, or who cares really about occupancy? And that's why when there's periods of super high demand, like there's an event happening in your area, that it's really important that you put your prices up to capitalize on that. You could get enough income and profit from a 5-night booking, whether that's over Christmas or Halloween or Easter, that could sustain you for the entire month, even if you got no more bookings in. So remember, think and concentrate on profit over occupancy. Now, also along those lines, it's important to think about profitability of each booking. So yes, you might offer a 1-night stay at the weekend and charge a crazy high amount, but your changeover costs are going to be quite high with those bookings as well. And often when you think about it, if you calculate how much profit you make from 7 1-night stays, even at the higher price, it can often be less profit than if you take 1 7-night stay at a much lower nightly rate, because it's one booking, one changeover at the end, and even if it's a much lower nightly rate, it can still be more profitable. And last up, can't talk about pricing without talking about using rate pricing software like Price Labs or Wheelhouse or whatever the other ones are. If you're not using these, you are seriously missing out on thousands and thousands of pounds or dollars, thousands of monies in your property. These algorithms know when to change. They know when to put the prices up when Taylor Swift's coming to town. They know when to put it down when all your competition's put theirs down and you haven't noticed yet. These are the things that cost a little bit of money as an investment, but are going to fill your calendar with bookings. And like, you can get a link below, you can try it out. It's not free, but honestly, it is the best investment after the photos and after the property that you can make in getting bookings in. You can't argue with this thing. It It knows the mysterious pricing pyramid. It knows where you are. It knows if it puts a price to a certain level and no one books it, it's like, we need to rethink our position on the pricing pyramid here. It actually suggests to you, look, your base price is actually a wee bit high here. I think we should be reducing this down. Trust Price Labs. It knows the mysterious pricing pyramid. Next up, we're wanting to do as much as we can to leverage the Airbnb's algorithm. And again, it's not just Airbnb, it's any OTA. You want to leverage their algorithm to make it work for you. First up, again, this is a no-brainer. Hope I don't have to repeat this too much, or this is not brand new information, but replying to guests promptly, replying to their messages, shows Airbnb that you're serious, that you're professional, that you know what you're doing, gives you a little bump. There's a response rate there for a reason. Secondly, make sure that you keep your calendar as open as possible. If you show up in more and more search results, that gives Airbnb a chance, well, first of all, for you to get more bookings, which is going to improve your click-through rate, or at least give them a better idea of what your click-through rate is, which will then enable it to compare you to other listings and hopefully bump you up ahead of them in search results. So don't do any of this. I only leave my calendar open for the next 30 days and then after that it's closed. Airbnb and guests want to be able to book way in advance. It's a much better, more professional way to do it. Next one you might not like, but you got to get your big boy, big girl pants on and turn on instant book. Now I know we all use Airbnb because we feel safe and lovely, and we like to get a nice message from people before we decide whether we're going to let them into our haven of serenity. But honestly, the world is not like that. This is the 21st century. People need speed, they need bookings, they need to know, right, I found this place, photos look cool, got a hot tub, price is right, get it booked. No one has time to wait around for your inquiry or whether you want to ask them questions about them and stuff. Like, turn it on, get the bookings in, move on with your life. And lastly, it is so important to focus on getting those 5-star reviews from those guests. Touched on it right at the start. You got to deliver good customer service. If you want more people to come and stay, you've got to make sure that the people who already stayed tell those people that it was worth staying in and they should book it. Next up, we're talking about building a customer avatar, or getting in the head of your guests. Who's coming to stay in your place? Who do you want to come and stay into your place? Who would love to stay in your place? You gotta tell them. You gotta think about them, get yourself in their shoes. What do they want? What do they expect? What would they like? Talk to them. So some of the niches that you can slot your property into that's gonna make so many other listings just fall away. We're talking about like the filters on search results. So many of these properties will fall away if you tailor your product, your property to these people. So the first one clearly is pet stays. Do you offer pet stays? You can charge more for that. It might be worth doing. If it is, maybe you could throw in some extra wee bits and pieces for pets. I don't really know what that would be. A dog run, poop scoop, I don't know, but you get the idea. Family friendly homes. Now, I'm not just talking about, yeah, I have a home and I accept families. I'm talking about put like swings in the garden, board games, Netflix. Like I saw a property the other day. It was like had a reading nook, beautiful. I have 3 kids. If I saw that, I'd be like, this property is way up in my estimations over the others. But a big one is business travelers. Now, the digital nomad revolution is happening all over the place. There are guests who travel around and just don't go home for months or years, but still work when they're away. They need laptop friendly space. They need high-speed internet. They're probably willing to sacrifice a bedroom altogether to have a complete office setup. If you can offer that, offer it, especially for these types of guests, because these are the ones that stay for much longer. It's probably only them or them and their partner. They're going to be no hassle. They're going to be a good booking to get in, but you've got to show them that you've got all that stuff waiting for them. You can talk about it in your title: full office setup, high-speed internet, printer available. And when you're also thinking about who's coming to stay or who you are completely laser focusing your property aimed at, you can talk about what they're going to be doing whenever they come to stay in your place. Are they going to a theme park? If so, how far away is your property from the theme park? Put it in the title. Are they going to Harry Potter World? How close are you to that? Are they coming to the beach? Do you have a beach on your doorstep? Put all this stuff in here, because the guests that are searching for this, as soon as you serve it up right in those search results, as soon as they click through, you're just thinking of everything for them, that you're reading their mind. And you can also offer specific packages for these guests that are coming to a bit of an upsell, make a few extra quid. You could have a special pet welcome pack waiting for those dogs or cats or whatever the hell that people are traveling with. You could do a kiddie friendly welcome pack. You can offer something for honeymooners, for anniversaries, for birthdays. All of these come at an extra cost that goes straight in your pocket, and Airbnb doesn't get a touch. The next way to get more bookings in your Airbnb is to stop relying on Airbnb. They are just one platform of many out there that are full of thousands or millions of guests Airbnb just want you to use their platform, but there's so many people who just will not use Airbnb. The other big ones that you should be on are Vrbo, Booking.com, Expedia. There are millions of others, and all of these have people who just, that is their platform of choice for booking their stay. We touched on putting your instant book on with your big boy pants. Once you've done that, these other platforms do not seem as scary, because that's what the real world looks like when bookings just land in. And that's what we're here for after all. But it's not just the OTAs that want to take a slice out of your income. Get direct bookings. There's lots of different ways to do that. I've got videos all through this channel showing you how to do that. You've got these killer photos. Set up an Instagram profile, start sharing those incredible photos that you've got all around social media. Get people to share them. Do like and share competitions. Engage with people in your local business Facebook groups. There are tourism and travel groups of people saying, oh, I want to go to your location. And you're just in there and you can just hit them with your link for them to go straight to your booking site and book. You can also partner with local businesses because they're going to be sharing stuff. They're going to be sharing it to a local audience. You can tie in with them. You can share their profile to your guests that are coming, and they can share your profile to all of their customers, and it's just cross promotion. We're one big hospitality family at the end of the day. We all need to support each other. You're bringing in a steady stream of people who want to come and spend money in your area, and you have power to send them to the best places, and all you're asking in return is that those places give you a wee like and a share. You can get your listing on travel blogs. There are millions of them all over the internet, and if you're feeling very brave, you can even get some travel influencers to come and stay in your place and hopefully show it in an amazing light. You will have to gift them the stay. It will be free for them. You got to be very careful about who you work with, but it is a way to massively grow your reach on social media. All right, next up, now, once you've got your listing up and running, it is important that you dip into it very frequently and make sure that it's updated. Now, if you're like me and you use a channel manager that manages all your platforms for you, you're rarely in the back end of Airbnb, and things change all the time. New boxes pop up that need text in it, new things need ticked or unticked, and if you're not staying on top of that, you are going to fall down those rankings. You can keep your listing updated with new attractions or new festivals or events that are coming up in the area, specifically if you think people are going to be looking around the time to book for those things. If you can mention it in your description or talk about it's in the street next door to where this property is, you're going to be front and center of those guests' mind who are wanting to go to that attraction. But a really cool thing, a little neat trick that I saw when I was auditing someone's Airbnb listing just recently in one of my last videos, which you should check out, and when I saw it, it blew my mind. So when you think about the photos that you've taken, how cool would it be that when you make the switch from summer to the winter season to the low season, that you not only change your prices, but you actually change your photos. So if you live in an area that gets summer and actual season, unlike Belfast, Northern Ireland, where we get no seasons or 4 seasons in one day, if you get actual seasons of in the summer it's hot and warm and in the winter it snows, why not have 2 different sets of photos so that when you come into winter, you can upload your winter photos and you can show everything about how your property looks like in the winter. Do you put the Christmas tree up? Do you have really amazing lights outside? Can you ice skate on the lake out the front? That's a health and safety nightmare, but you get the idea. Next up, we're talking about slightly higher level marketing strategies here to get these bookings. So you can offer limited time promotions for off season, early bird discount if someone books way in advance for your low season. You already should be offering some sort of discount for repeat bookings. So if someone stayed with you through Airbnb or any of the other OTAs, you can send them a wee message saying, here, if you're ever coming back, just contact me directly or book through our website, direct booking engine, and you get a 10% discount or a 5% discount or whatever. You can also offer a discount code to those guests. And yeah, if they want to share it with their friends, that's fine too. You'd rather take the booking than not. And then of course you can always run ads on things like Google or Facebook ads, and that is going to get you eyeballs and potentially more bookings, but really you want to be getting organic reach from people liking, sharing, engaging with your content on social media. Now, I've already touched on how the Airbnb platform is constantly changing and evolving, but so is travel in general. There are some huge trends playing out right now that you need to get on if you want to stay relevant and keep those bookings coming in. So watch this video and I'll see you in a sec.